Hello, welcome to Honestly Hayden. I hate saying it, but that's what I'm gonna leave the name as. Anyway, this video is a little different because I'm not playing a game and I'm putting my socks on because I'm about to go somewhere. But today I'm gonna be talking about my social cost theory. This is how I go through my interactions. All right, so this is me, right? And then let's say over here, this is my club that I'm in, right? So, social cost theory. I believe that inside of any given group of people, I have a certain cost, a certain cost that it takes on that group for all my eccentricities and weird stuff. So let's say I'm a weird guy. I'm gonna say I have a social cost of 10 points, right? But I'm able to offset that with other stuff that makes this cost worth it, right? So I'm kind of a weirdo, and I've gotten better at talking to people. Let's lower this cost. This cost, it used to be 10, now it's like 6. Anyway, so my social cost for this group, my club, is $6, right? Now, for me to be tolerated in this group, I have to meet this cost. And in this group, they're very social and we perform. So the way I offset this cost is by learning to getting to know all these people and getting better at performing. So in terms of social, learning to talk to people, I think I am pretty good in my club, at least. I think I offset my weirdness with my socialness alone, and then my performance, short for performance, by the way. I think I'm pretty good at performing, in my opinion. I think most would agree. I think my performance probably does 6. So that means I have a positive social gain on the group of what, 4? Is that right? Yeah, 4 plus 4. That's it, backwards. Wait, really, there we go. So anyway, I have a positive social cost, dude, on the group. So overall, generally, I add to this, right? So you might be wondering, why are you talking about this at all? All right, let's remove all this. Why are you talking about all this at all? Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because there's some groups where I don't think that my existence offsets that social cost. So inside of my club, there's a couple people, and I've been hanging out with them at least for a minute. I talked about this girl in a different video. Anyway, we ended up not dating. And okay, let's first do the pre I don't know what it's called, like situationship. I don't know, pre-experiment. I'll call it that. Pre-experiment. My social cost was $10, right? Because I didn't know a lot of the people here, and again, I'm a weird guy and I'm awkward. Anyway, they don't really care about performance, so it's all about my social interaction. But experiment, you know what it says. Anyway, this experiment thing, in my mind, in the back of my car, she died. Anyway, in my mind, this subtracted like 3 from my social cost. So my perceived social cost was actually 7. That's what I felt my social cost was. And I was like, I could do that. Gotta get to know these people. And so I did that, and I hung out with these people, and it was a lot of fun, right? Let's change this to friends, yay! And I was only really there for like maybe a month tops. But I felt like my socialness and my humor paid the $7 plus a little extra. Maybe like overall I had a positive $2 social cost, right? But then experiment ended, over. And so now my perceived social cost is, instead of it subtracting 3, it's like plus 5. And I don't know why. For some reason, I just feel like I'm really annoying. It feels like now whatever I do, I'm being annoying, and like people are trying to tolerate me, and it feels shitty. TBH. That means to be honest. So my perceived social cost is $15, right? Experiment over. So now I'm like, okay, I'll try. And I go there, and I do not have a positive 2. I have like a negative 4. No, negative 6. Negative $6. So that means I'm only providing what? Not plus 9 social. No, it's definitely lower. Probably like negative 8. So I'm only providing plus 7 social. You see the problem here? I'm not providing value. I'm sapping energy out of this group, and I feel like I'm making it worse, right? So I don't like that. I don't want to ruin things for other people for my benefit. So instead of, let's say that the value of this group is already pretty high. It's like, I don't know, I'll say it's 20. It's already 20. Instead of me coming over and taking away 7 from the group, I could just not go over there, and I'll be fine, probably. I'll be lonely and whatever, but I still talk to the club, which I provide value to. And then there's no way this is copyright free, by the way. Like, this is whatever, man. Whoops. Anyway, I'm sure you see my problem here. I don't know how to decrease my social cost, because again, I feel like my social cost right now is like 15 inside of this group, inside of this little friend group, because I feel like whenever somebody's talking to me, or not whenever somebody, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like when people are talking to me, it doesn't feel the same as it was before. And I don't really know, I can't really put my finger on it, but it's not, it feels like I'm not pulling my weight. I don't know. It just feels like I'm not providing enough value for it to be worth it for me to continue going. To this group to hang out. Like, it feels like I'm bringing everybody down. So I am not going until I can get my shit together, I guess. I need to figure out how to reduce this. This needs to be brought down. And you know, I think part of it is because when I was a wee tot. I'm stupid baby. When I was a little child, like 10 years old, I hung out with people who actually went by this theory. So I don't know if this is like a thing that actually exists today. I don't know if this is still a thing, but I don't want to risk it and ruin things for everyone else. So I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna try to decrease my social cost by becoming a more interesting person. Because I don't think I'm an interesting person. So to become a more interesting person, I'm learning new things and I'm developing strats, right? Okay. Hobby number 1. This hobby is going to increase my cost, social cost. It's going to decrease it by not 9. It's going to decrease it by like 1. It doesn't really mean that much, but it makes me a more interesting person. And that is the guitar. Let me try to draw a guitar. Oh yeah. Perfect. Yep, guitar. I've been learning guitar and I'm not like super terrible at it. I can play bar chords, which I think is pretty impressive. But this actually makes me pretty happy that I'm learning to do this. So I think that's gonna end up decreasing my total social cost. And strat 1. I realize I was thinking about this. Somebody text me. Yeah, I gotta go soon. 2 more minutes. But anyway, I realized my this is like tangentially related, but I realized my strat of sitting around like a chud and waiting for somebody to like pick me up like I'm $1 on the road is not a good strategy. That's a bad strategy, especially considering the kind of person I am. I'm kind of energetic once I get settled in. So I think what I need to do is I need to talk to people more. Talk to people more. And I think what I need to do, I need to talk to quiet people. People who are like how I was at the start of the semester. Because I think quiet people, I mean, I was a quiet person, and I think I like a lot of the things that I like. Maybe other quiet people like the same things as well, and they just don't want to talk about it, kind of like how I do. So I think that's strat number 1. I don't know. I don't really know how much that would increase my social score, but I'd probably get better at talking to people and I'd be less annoying. Strat number 2. So there's this thing that I do when I'm talking to people. Somebody will say something to me, right? And they'll be like, yeah, something, I did this, I like doing this. And so I try to relate to them by talking about myself. But after I do it, I feel like I'm so dumb. Why didn't I ask them more about themselves? Because I'm not interested in sharing things about myself. I want to talk to this other person about them. I want to learn more about them. And then sometimes when somebody's talking, I'll just try to like make people laugh like I'm a jester or something. A little jester hat. And like sometimes it can be funny, but like I do it all the time, man. It's annoying. I think if I stop doing that, my social value will be it'll go down by like 3. My social cost will go down by like 3. Stop doing that. And so my social cost would be like $6, which is very manageable. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that theory, and I don't know. I don't really talk to this group really. I just talk to the people in the club because I feel like I don't outweigh my costs in this group, so I'm not gonna go. Yeah, I don't really have anyone else to share this with. It would sound kind of pathetic, so I'm just gonna upload it here, where if you judge me, it doesn't matter because you don't know me in real life. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.